Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. It is
Woo!
Turkey Day. But, it wouldn't be a Turkey Day without some sports, and it wouldn't be a Turkey Day without the second annual Jocksgiving episode. Now, I don't know if you guys went back and watched last year's. I did because I was curious, and that's kind of where we're going to go this year. But a week prior to Thanksgiving last year is when Luke joined us for the first time. So
No way.
yeah, it's your year anniversary. Look at that.
Yeah.
So that being said, welcome to another Jocksgiving. So the big thing everyone's going to want to talk about, since I'm putting this up at 12 on Thanksgiving, let's talk about the games. Guys, let's start Lions and Bears at 12:30. Who do I want to go with this? I'm going to flip it. Oh, Kyle wants it. Go for it. Give me your predictions. Are there any fantasy expectations here? Go for it.
Who cares about this game? Let's move on.
Oh, wow.
Well, essentially, it'll be Andy Dalton versus the Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh, is it Lions and Cowboys, or is it?
No, I'm sorry. Lions and Bears
versus Bears. Cowboys versus Raiders.
Yeah, Lions and Bears. That's a garbage matchup.
Yep.
If you're watching this game, you're just gonna.
The Bears will probably win because the Lions are that much of a dumpster fire. I would say if you have Cleveland. Justin Fields in fantasy, definitely. You might want to maybe.
No,
really?
He's hurt.
Oh, See, this is how out of touch I am.
Andy Dalton played on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, two dumpster fires going at it.
I think Montgomery's a good play here.
I agree.
For sure.
Mooney. So now that it's not Fields, will it be Mooney or Robinson?
Maybe Robinson will have a little bit of an uptick in fantasy, but he's just been so irrelevant this year that I wouldn't even trust him.
Yeah. I wouldn't play Kmet. I'm not going to play Kmet. Dalton doesn't really target his tight ends, so I don't feel comfortable. Now, if Fields is healthy for the game, completely different. But for the Lions, who are you starting if you're playing anyone from the Lions? I think it's pretty solid down to TJ Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Garbage game. Anyone want to predict the score for the garbage game?
Bears 23, Lions 20.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Bears 17, Lions 14.
I'll give you one even better. Bears 17, Lions 7.
Okay.
Even without Khalil Mack, I'll still give the Bears credit over the Lions offense. So that's game one. If you're watching this one, so sorry. It's probably with your relatives because they turned it on and everyone has a food coma if you did lunch. If you didn't and you're doing more of a midday thing, we'll take a stop at our second game, which will be Cowboys versus Raiders at 4:30. Since Kyle took the first one, Luke, do you want to take the first stab at this one?
Sure. For this one, really, with the state of the Raiders franchise, it's just a massive set of distractions right now. So anyone who's playing the Raiders, I mean, you should be able to win this game, and I don't think the Cowboys are an exception to that. They've shown themselves to be a pretty good team over the course of the year. Before I put my foot in my mouth again, are there any major injuries for this game? Okay. So
Cooper had COVID. Or he's on the COVID list.
CeeDee got hurt in the game, didn't he?
Yeah, he got banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they might be missing Amari Cooper. No. Yeah, Amari
Cooper.
Maybe one of them.
Okay.
And that looked like it impacted their game last week. I mean, they scored 9 points against the Chiefs defense. That's shady. Like that's.
Okay.
Are we putting more stock into Michael Gallup then, or Ezekiel Elliott?
I mean,
I would say watch out for Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard in this game.
Yeah, maybe Tony Pollard, but maybe Michael Gallup might get a few more touches. I mean, if they're really missing Amari Cooper, then they've got to find some other wide receiver to, next man up. So they're going to try to keep their game plan intact as much as they can and not completely abandon their style of play that's been working for them. So, I would say, I mean, without Amari Cooper, it might not be as cut and dried as, Cowboys win, but I would probably still take the Cowboys to win on this one.
I agree. I will most definitely stay on the side of, if it's not Michael Gallup, it might be Dalton Schultz. Because Schultz has proven himself very much this year. Either way, yeah, it's definitely going to be Cowboys. But let's hear those scores. Luke, give us your prediction for Cowboys Raiders.
Okay, against the Raiders, I'm going to say Cowboys 24, Raiders 14.
Okay.
I'm going to say Cowboys 31, Raiders 20, and I'm going to say Cedric Wilson scores a touchdown.
Weird. Stay out of my head, please. Cowboys 33, Raiders 21. I don't. You know what? I'll double down. Kenyon Drake will have a touchdown for the Raiders.
Woo!
Weird. Yeah. So then again, if you had your midday snack, you might be asleep by this game. You might be in a coma. Who knows? But the last game on the slate proves to be the most interesting one. Come to think of it, Saints versus Bills at 8:20. I'm going to be honest. This game I'll watch. I don't know about I'll watch the first one because I have Hawkinson like an idiot for the second year in a row in fantasy. But I don't know, guys. Kyle, you took the first one. Well, actually, I didn't take any of them. Maybe I'll be the first to take a stab here at Saints.
Go for it, man.
Let's be entirely honest. The Bills have not looked dominant as of late. However, do I trust Trevor Fella? No, I don't. I can't pronounce his name, Kyle, no matter how many times people tell me I can't do it. But I can say Tungavaloa. I don't understand. Anyways.
Seaman.
Yep, that one. Seaman. Yep. I think the seed will spill, and he won't do anything. Kamara, I don't know that Kamara is going to be healthy in time.
Didn't play last week.
So that leaves Mark Ingram, a quarterback that can't throw, and a tight end being your best option as a receiver. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to take the Bills here. I would play Josh Allen in this game.
I think it's going to be closer than people think. Saints and Eagles last week. The Saints have the number one rushing defense in the entire NFL, and the Eagles put up 250 rushing yards on them. That's because the Eagles can run the ball, and they figured that out. The Bills, they don't even try to run the ball. So I think they're going to play into the Saints' hands with their pass rush, with their good corners. Now, Josh Allen is a very good runner himself, so that's probably where they're going to get most of their rushing yards. So I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think, but I think the Bills will win this one like 27-17.
I'm going to say the score is going to be Bills 28, Saints 20.
See, and I was thinking Bills 28, Saints 24. So we're all in the same ballpark. But Bills should win. Let's say one more comment here about this prediction. If the Bills don't win, are we done with the Josh Allen hype at that point?
I wouldn't say done with the Josh Allen hype. I just think what happened against the Colts this week is like you're not going to face anything like that in your division. The Colts are run first, run heavy. Like they were last year. People just kind of forgot. Like earlier in this year, the Colts didn't really try to run the ball. They tried to get Wentz acclimated, and they had some injuries on the O-line. Now they're in full swing, man, and they're one of the most dominant running teams in the NFL, maybe the most. So the Bills haven't faced teams like that. I think they played the Titans, if I'm not correct. They lost the Titans earlier in the year with Derrick Henry. So the Bills are going to be fine in their in their division. I just think what's really holding them back is they are very dependent on Josh Allen making plays. Yeah. It's very, very dependent upon that. So they really need to figure out a running game for him. Both those running backs stink. They're not anything. And their offensive line's pretty much middle of the road at best. So they really need to get him some upgrades, I think. I think he's still really good. He just needs to get some upgrades, I think.
I agree. All right. That is our NFL game preview. I know it wasn't horribly in-depth, but again, it's just a little side like Thanksgiving is all about sides. So as I was listening to that old episode, guys, it is time for one of our favorite old segments. Are you for real?
So this Thanksgiving is a throwback Thursday.
It is. And we'll get to Thankful Thursday later. However, for Throwback Thursday, I thought it would be fun to go back to an Are You For Real? I have two. I'll make mine very brief. NFL, stop making us watch the freaking Lions and Cowboys every Thanksgiving. Never do I sit down and say, ooh, I've got to watch them this year. Oh, ooh, who are they going to play? The Texans? Ooh, maybe the Bears. Like, nothing is ever appetizing about those games. Stop doing it. Are you for real, Roger Goodell? Like, tell the schedulers like just to quit doing it. Give me the Eagles, or give me the Ravens. Give me an exciting team. Give me the Cardinals. Give me Kyler Murray on a freaking like Thanksgiving. I'm sick of it. Just stop doing it.
I think it's less an NFL tradition and more of like a Lions and Cowboys tradition at this point. I get the feeling that if Cowboys fans didn't have a Cowboys game on Thanksgiving, there'd be riots in the streets of Dallas.
Darn, it's not like they ever win one.
Well, I mean, they are one of the more successful NFL franchises when you look at how many Super Bowls they've won. So
A little pish posh. It hasn't been like that in 25 years, man.
Yeah, thank you. So are you for real? My second one, I'm tired of hearing it, and I didn't want to write it because I wanted to have a surprise for you both. I'm tired of hearing Cincinnati and Notre Dame deserve to be in the top 4 over Alabama, Ohio State, all the other teams that aren't named Georgia. Cincinnati, you beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame has not played a single ranked team this year. Notre Dame has not played anyone really with a winning record this year. Why should Notre Dame be there? And why should Cincy be there? Because the only ranked team Notre Dame played was Cincy and lost at home. You're both jokes. You're going to play in big bowls. That's great. That's where you deserve to be. Go ahead and come into the national conversation. It doesn't matter if it's Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. Doesn't matter which one of the three of us you play, you're going to get clobbered. Does not matter. So
here's my thing. It's like, okay, you have the big three. I really think the national champion this year is going to be either Georgia, Alabama, or Ohio State. Yep. I really think it's going to be one of those three. However, we have this weird 4 spot that's kind of hanging there right now. The question is,
every
you
year,
have Cincinnati, who's probably going to go into that 4 spot. Who do you want to see in that 4 spot outside of those 3 teams?
If Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State, it will have been their best win. They have 1 loss, and they should be a conference champion. I would take the conference champion over Notre Dame, who refuses to pick a conference, and Cincinnati, who plays in a terrible conference.
And definitely not Michigan.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Michigan is going to have – Michigan this week has – more problems to think about than where they're going to end up in the rankings.
Yes, but Michigan will play like Michigan as usual. It's not. I'm not.
But here's the thing. It's like, okay, so we're talking about Oklahoma right now, and yes, Oklahoma would have beaten Oklahoma State, and so we'd see how much they jump from that. The question I have is, Oklahoma always craps the bed in the playoff.
Yeah. So does Georgia. So does Georgia, and they're ranked number 1 right now. What's your point?
So my point is, okay, so we have Oklahoma, who's way behind in the rankings. Meanwhile, we have Cincy, who's right here. Why not just move them at 4 and just kind of wait to see how the chips land as they may?
Right. I don't know. It's either going to be Michigan or Georgia. If Georgia loses and Michigan loses, it'll be one of those 2 teams that fights for 4, I guess.
We're not – here's the thing. The committee is always looking for drama to stir up. We have no guarantee that after what Michigan did to Maryland, we have no guarantee that they won't jump Michigan ahead of Cincinnati at this point. And if that happens, that's just the committee sending a message. And
but
I would go, whoa.
Here's the last problem, and then we got to move on. But if Michigan loses to Ohio State, not a single 2-loss team has ever made it to the playoffs. So Michigan could not take
for now.
Well, it's either going to be Michigan or a 2-loss Alabama if Alabama loses to Georgia. So either way, nobody's going to like it.
That's what I'm scared of.
Yeah. Either way, all right. So that is mine. There it is. Are you for real? Get it together, NFL and NCAA. I'm kind of sick of you both right now. Kyle has a lovely "Are you for real" that I'll let him talk about and piggyback on it, I'm sure.
Well, I first wanted to say about your "Are you for real?" Lions and the Cowboys, two teams that like no one wants to watch. No one in their right mind wants to watch either of these teams for very different reasons. The Lions are just garbage. No one wants to watch them. And the Cowboys, everybody hates them. So like, why do we have these two teams? My "Are you for real?" is LeBron James elbowing Isaiah Stewart. Listen, Anthony Davis came to his rescue and said, LeBron's not a dirty player. He would never do that. But yes, he would. He did it. Watch the video. He elbowed him right in the face.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It didn't even look like an elbow in the face. It looked like he got him in the face with his fist.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked dirty. It might not have been, but it really did look dirty. And
it was like a jerk and go and everything. And I'm saying this as the resident LeBron supporter. It did look bad. And I do give some of the blame to Isaiah Stewart for how he acted afterward. He didn't
I would too.
Come at him again and again. It's like running over all of his coaches. You need to calm down a little bit. But I completely understand your frustration.
Calm down. The dude was gushing. LeBron didn't just shove him. LeBron beat the crap out of him. I'd be mad too. If that was LeBron,
LeBron hit him like just right. I will give you that. It's not like LeBron pounced on him and beat him.
Hold on. If anybody hit me like that, I don't care who you are. I'm coming after you. I don't blame. I'm with Isaiah Stewart. Go get him. I don't care that freaking Westbrook sitting there. We're gonna do
Westbrook to me is just hilarious. Westbrook is like, oh, what are you going to do, Russ?
Kyle, go ahead. Finish where you were going.
There really wasn't much more. I just think when LeBron came out and said, I was looking for Isaiah Stewart's number to apologize to him, I think that's when you know he went too far. Like, if it was inadvertent, if it was like nothing happened, it was, who really cares? It was an accident. I don't think you'd get a number and try to apologize. Just be like, dude, it was an accident. Like, I'm sorry.
The only big issue I had with what happened was how lackadaisical LeBron looked after that. Just chilling. I'm like, dude.
I think he's frustrated. I think that team is pretty much average right now.
As the resident LeBron supporter, I will say right now, the Lakers look like absolute trash.
That was the best thing on that freaking team right now, and that dude's ancient.
Yeah, so, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But I'm with you, Kyle. That was I call it as dirty. A lot of people are calling for him to be suspended, and I agree.
I think he did get suspended one game.
Yeah, just one game. You've played long enough to know that you know how to move without killing somebody, and you whack the crap out of that man. So, yeah, you messed up. Anyhow, on to our third. Are you for real? Go for it, Luke.
All right. So, I'm going to take us back to the world of college football. For any and all of you who are following the Heisman race, it really has become a two-man race between Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud and Alabama quarterback Bryce Young, which makes for really fun interactions between two members of the Jocks of all trades. However, I did see a lovely take on Twitter from Brady Quinn, was he a USC QB or was he a Notre Dame? Notre Dame. Okay. That's probably a huge heresy among the Notre Dame fan base. But basically, Brady Quinn went on Twitter and said, well, CJ Stroud is the favorite right now, but let's all think about what Bryce Young would be doing, what his numbers for the Heisman would be if he had Ohio State's wide receivers. And I look at that and I go, okay, wait, time out. You're saying that if Bryce Young had better talent around him, he'd be doing better when he plays for the Alabama Crimson Tide, who have had the number one recruiting class of any team in college football for how long? And number two, we weren't having this conversation 2 years ago when Joe Burrow was the runaway candidate for the Heisman when he was surrounded by Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So it really looks bad because it just looks like a furthering of SEC bias whenever someone outside the SEC or the South looks to be a Heisman favorite, especially when it comes from a Big Ten team. So I'm just going, are you for real, Brady Quinn? You need to stop. You need to have a full stop.
I already had it out with you. You know what I think.
Exactly.
I like to take the middle of the road because I don't like taking sides. So here's the thing. I'll be right in the middle. And yes, Alabama's talent year after year after year is incredible. Obviously, people do better with better talent around them. I feel like from Brady Quinn's standpoint, it's not that unique of a statement. Like, yes, that's what happens. CJ Stroud, for his receivers, Najigba, Garrett Wilson, Olave, that is one of the best trios of receivers I've seen in the Big Ten in a long time.
In the Big Ten, yeah.
Big Ten, for sure. And Ohio State's talent is it's not there, but it's very, very close to rivaling Alabama's talent year after year. I would say that, yes, with similar talent, Bryce Young, would he put up similar numbers? Maybe, but it's not like he has trash at his disposal. He has John Mechie, who could probably be a second round, maybe first round draft pick. Jameson Williams, who will probably be a first round draft pick. Have Alabama receivers been better than what they have now? For sure, but like you're not going to rival what they had last year. That's what they had last year is insane. So yeah, like. I don't think that's a unique statement from Brady Quinn. I just think that's pretty average. CJ Stroud definitely does deserve some hype, I think, because he's a freshman. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's impressive. Whether you think he is not as great as Bryce Young or not, like that is impressive. I think Bryce Young should be up for Heisman as well. So like it's not really like one or the other. I think they're both playing pretty well. So
basically what happened was CJ Stroud had his Heisman moment against a Michigan State team who people like to give Michigan State crap because it's the worst FBS pass defense. It's like, well, that's only when you look at raw yards per game allowed through the air. When you go to a more updated metric to measuring pass defense quality is one of those standards is yards allowed per pass attempt. And when you look at that stat, Michigan State and Arkansas are like identical when it comes to pass defense. So you have to give the Michigan State pass defense a little bit more credit before if you just say, then you can just say, oh, they're the worst.
But I don't, Kyle. And I said Michigan State is just like Iowa. Go back and look at their schedule. They haven't played anyone of substance besides Michigan.
I would say they're a little bit better than Iowa, but I think...
But they shouldn't have been at 7.
No, I knew they were never that good. They're a good team. They always kind of have been, especially when they had their other
better than Arkansas.
Yeah.
But point remains the same. Michigan State shouldn't have been that high.
No, it never should have been. They're running back.
They're gonna crown Stroud for having that as an achievement for a team that was overrated. Like I don't like
they are overrated, but putting up those numbers, it's still insane no matter who you play.
Oh, I don't disagree. Yeah. I'm with you.
It was a big game for them and they crushed them. So it was good to see if you're an Ohio State fan. So.
Yeah. My brain just kills me because I think Stroud played Tulsa, Akron, Rutgers, Maryland, IU, Nebraska. Like, where are your numbers coming from, man? You didn't play quality defenses in the Big Ten to get there. I'll give you Penn State, Purdue, but Purdue's defense isn't exactly all that. And Oregon. That's the 3 that I'll give you that are quality defenses. So I just, in my mind, I'm like, okay, look at who Alabama has had to play versus who CJ Stroud has had to play. And the kid that has a crappy O-line half the time, no defense to bail him out, and probably one of the weaker wide receiver classes we've seen at Alabama for a long time is still killing it. That's why, to me, like
Yeah,
Please
not-
don't
it's
talk
not
like
even
you
an
have a
Alabama
weak
thing. I've
wide
just never
receiver
seen
core. You have
anybody
John
do
Mechie
this.
and Jamison Williams,
Hold
and you
on,
have
hold
Brian
on.
Robinson.
Let me finish. I'm going to mute you. My point being, this is the best I've ever seen anybody do at Alabama. Better than Jalen, better than Tua, better than Mac. Like, why would he not be deserving of it? Like, this is where I'm at. Like, what does he have to do
I don't
more?
think anyone's saying he isn't, but like weak Alabama receiver class is another man's best receiver class in collegiate history.
I'll take that. That's
Thank
fair.
you.
But yeah, I never said he's not deserving. I think he very much is, but I think they're both impressive, and I don't think you can go wrong with either one. So,
are you going to say the tagline now, Luke?
Oh, so anyway, Brady Quinn, are you for real?
There you go. All right, so I made some special stuff because of last year. I'd like to make this our Thanksgiving tradition every year. We had a big argument about sides. I'm sure none of you remember that, so I've decided to litter multiple things in the episode to poke fun at all three of us. But the first one is side showdown. Wouldn't be sports without a little competition, right, guys?
Okay.
So we're going to bring a little bit of random fandom into this. I want you to hit me with your top 3 Thanksgiving must-have sides. Side showdown.
Ooh.
Who would like to start?
mashed potatoes, obviously.
All right.
If mac and cheese is a Thanksgiving side, it's on there. But if you're going to debate that, then I'll throw it out.
We had that debate last year. We're fine. Go ahead.
Okay, mac and cheese is always up there. It's like good mac and cheese, not like freaking Kraft. All right, we ain't about that. Like good homemade stuff. And then number 3, it's probably a toss-up between broccoli and cheese casserole and green bean casserole. I do like stuffing very much, but some people really just do it horribly, and it's awful.
Wait, we'll talk about it later. Don't ruin it. Don't spoil it.
Okay. Then I would put broccoli cheese up there as well.
Cool. Luke, hit me.
I've got to say, number 1, broccoli cheese casserole. My mom makes a killer broccoli cheese casserole.
Boy, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, no, it does. I think the next one would be stuffing. We call it stuffing at our house. I know some people like to call it dressing, but it's stuffing at our house. And then, because at that point, I stuffed my face with turkey. For side, I have to go with apple pie. Because
dessert.
That's dessert. It becomes hard for me at that point because those are really just the main 2 sides that I like to go with. But I will go with mac and cheese. I like mac and cheese as well.
Weird. All right. I didn't think you two would agree on 2 things. Anyhow, I'm going to start with squash casserole because mom and Southern, and it's amazing. And if you haven't had it, it's heresy. I'll send you the recipe. The squash casserole. Second has to be green bean casserole. Listen, if green bean casserole is done right, I will smack the crap out of it every single year. And the third one is hard. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to cheat because it could count as a dessert. Sweet potato casserole. I will take a sweet potato.
All 3 are casseroles for you.
Yes, they are. Cranberry sauce, if I considered it a side, would be in the top 3. But I don't. So cool. Side showdown was a success. There was nothing sussy. I didn't have to bring out sus takes with either one of you. All right. So we talked about Throwback Thursday. Let's do Thankful Thursday. Guys, what are you thankful for? Who wants to go first? A lot of changes from last year to now. So
yeah, no, there are a lot of differences. I am thankful for the fact that school is going well. I'm actually going to be graduating this spring with my master's, so that's going to be a fun thing to look forward to. Also rather stressful, but I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful that my family is doing well up in Indiana. Hey mom, hey dad, hey bro. I wish I could see them this Thanksgiving, but that's not going to happen. But I'm glad that they're going to have a good time. And one last thing, and we'll make it sports related. I am thankful that Ohio State spanked the other team from up north, and I'm hoping we can spank the real team from up north. And so that's going to be a fun thing that I get to watch this Saturday while I'm on break from school. I don't have anything really hanging over me, so it's going to be really fun.
Great. Sweet. Go for it, Kyle. You've had quite a number of changes that I don't know people at Jocks know yet.
Well, number one, I'm thankful for Jonathan Taylor, who scored me 50 points in fantasy.
Yeah.
And is absolutely insane. No, but for real. I'm thankful for a job that I got, a step up in my career, I would say. I'm thankful for my lovely and beautiful fiance. We just engaged recently. Very thankful for her and her patience with me. And what else am I thankful for? I'm thankful that even though I might have COVID, I'm still relatively healthy. Thankful for family, for friends, for you guys. Yeah, all that jazz.
So, Luke, we now have had 2 members of Jocks on a show with COVID. You have to do it next, just to compete.
No. I mean, I would say I would like to have the natural immunity, but I don't want to have to go through all the rigmarole. I don't want to be stuck in my less than 800 square foot apartment. Please, no.
Listen, if you get COVID, I'll buy you a game.
Oh my word!
There you go. It'll be like $5, but it'll be a game.
I'll go lick a public countertop.
Yeah. What? Yeah. What am I thankful for? Holy crap. Guys, I'm almost on year 3 of my marriage to my wonderful wife, who has been very supportive of this podcast. You guys, my friends. I'm thankful that I'm have an interview this week for a really nice job that will put me in a better position for a lot of things. I can start building kind of a career there while I go back to school in the spring. There's something else I'll be thankful for. And I'm also thankful that maybe I'll edit this later because I don't know for sure yet or not. But we are in waiting mode, and we'll have an answer soon as to whether I might be a father or not. So there's lots of things to be thankful for. And I see you. I'm just thankful for a lot of things. I didn't think we'd be where we are. We're incredibly blessed. I'm thankful for my good friends that I spend time with all the time. Wish you 2 were closer so I could pick on you, not from a distance. But thankful for that. Thankful for my family, that moving through COVID, starting a new job, going to a new state, all that went well for them and they're okay. Grateful for my sister, who's now a high schooler, and I will probably never mentally prepare myself for that. Who has a boyfriend, by the way? Which, yeah.
No.
That freaks me out too. But I'm just thankful for a lot of things. Really thankful for you guys. Thankful that we raised the podcast from the dead, and we're doing so much better than we did before. Lots of really good things. But I could go on for a long time, but I'm just thankful to be alive, to be here with you guys, have a good time, and share the airspace and be back on it again. All that being said, we did it last year, and I have to do it this year. It doesn't matter what your answer is, but it's not Thanksgiving without what?
It's not Thanksgiving without Christmas.
Ouch.
Because Thanksgiving is a sign that Christmas is getting closer. If Christmas does not exist, Thanksgiving would not be as good.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I will say it is not Thanksgiving in my family if you don't watch the old Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
It is an awesome because here's the thing, the movie starts on Thanksgiving and then it is a Christmas movie. So it is going kind of to Kyle's point, it's a great Thanksgiving Christmas movie. So it's a great little movie. It's an old school Christmas movie that you can kick off the Christmas season with while still being, it's Thanksgiving, so we need to watch this movie. So it actually works really, really well. We've made it a tradition in my family that we always watch it on Thanksgiving. So that'll be something that I'll look to watch here in Tallahassee while they watch it up in Fort Wayne, and it's going to be something that we can still do at the same time.
That's cool. It's not Thanksgiving without Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, first of all. At some point, I have told myself I will be lazy and do the Thanksgiving meal from Charlie Brown, and it will be delicious. And with jelly beans and popcorn and pretzels and yeah. Anyways, and the second part to it would be stuffing myself until I can't move. Stuff me more than the turkey, and just let me take a nap. That is one of my favorite things. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I am old. Maybe I think I'm starting to like let that click in my head. I think I'm old. But something just about like a warm belly, full, wonderful food, and just being able to sit down and sleep and not have to think about going anywhere or doing anything. So that I'm looking forward to, and it's not Thanksgiving without it. All right, we talked about it. Stuffing or dressing, first of all. Which one is it called? Northern people, go ahead.
It's stuffing. I don't like dressing. You're dressing something like that stuffing or dressing. You're not really dressing it on anything. It's not like you're.
What I've heard is now in my family we don't abide by this rule. We've adopted the term stuffing for it, and it has stuck in our family. However, what I've actually heard it's like if you serve it outside of the turkey, it is called dressing. If you put it into the turkey, it is called stuffing.
I've never had it in a turkey in my life.
I've never heard of anyone putting stuffing inside of the turkey.
I've always seen it, but I've never.
Right, I've never done it. Yep.
Yeah, no, I often wonder. It's like, how good would that be? That actually sounds like it would be really, really good.
Yeah, but I like stuffing for sure. It's good.
But what in my family we usually do stuffing outside the turkey, but we still call it stuffing. So Go figure.
So Kyle said he liked it. I heard his small comment.
Oh, one of the best.
I'm going to make a 180 from last year. My mother-in-law Tracy and I guess father-in-law Richard, they both came out last Thanksgiving, and we recorded before we had food the next day. And I said, I cannot stand dressing, stuffing, whatever you want to call it. Cannot do it. She and Devin both made one of the best ones I've ever had. I've made a 180. I like it.
There you go.
It is one of the things I will not avoid now this Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So the difference a year can make. So
you've
all
matured.
Right. I have. We've got two more, and then we're done for this episode. Dessert. We got to talk dessert. Hit me with your Thanksgiving favorite dessert.
Apple pie.
Yeah,
fair
that's
enough.
Good.
American favorite.
Yep.
Never been a big apple pie guy, but
how dare you?
I know, I'm weird. Pumpkin roll for sure. I don't like pumpkin pie. Pumpkin roll, yes, and then actually most of the times in recent history, we always make a punch at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that's the other thing. No, not a punch. Punch. Pineapple juice, 7-Up, sherbet, all that jazz, lemonade, things like that. And I've always been the one to make it. I don't know why. I started when I was like 8, and I've never left it. So it's always really good. So yeah.
I have a personal question. Did your mom ever make that for like your birthday parties? Because that sounds eerily familiar to me in like my child brain somewhere.
Maybe. It's definitely possible. Maybe.
I was just curious because it sounds so familiar, and I was like, you're saying this, and I can like picture it. Like that's not normal.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely possible. I'd put it at like 75% possible. I've always remembered it at like holidays, but it's it definitely could be. Now I'm sure you've had my Graham's ice cream at birthday parties for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Killer. So, I still remember that, and it's been years.
I haven't had that in a while though, but yeah.
Yeah. Too. Sorry, I figured I'd ask because I was like, that sounds familiar. Yeah. Turkey Day favorite. Pecan pie, actually, which would be a shocker to you both, I'm sure. But I
Thank you for saying pecan correctly.
I'm not from Georgia. But I can't do the store-bought. It has to be homemade. I only like homemade pecan pie. And I will blame my great-grandmother for spoiling me that way. And then Dad makes it too. So It's bad. It's really
Oh.
bad. But if I
You're,
can't have it,
I want. The thing is, I'm usually not a fan of pecans, but I know your dad bakes really good stuff, and so I would make an exception to taste your dad's pecan pie.
they're going to be here over Christmas. If we meet up over Christmas at some point, I'm sure he'll make it, and I'll save you a piece and send it with you. Which hopefully we will see each other over Christmas. Who knows?
Oh,
we'll find out.
For sure.
So a last one. Speaking of throwbacks, since it's a Thursday, fact or fiction. It has been a hot minute since we have done a fact or fiction. I wrote these. I would love to pick both your brains. I like doing that anyways. This isn't different from any other time. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Kyle, start. Yeah, I saw that. Haha. Jonathan Taylor should win the MVP this season for the NFL. Fact or fiction, Kyle?
If the Colts make the playoffs and he keeps this up, then yes. I don't see anybody else worthy of it on that side. Derrick Henry was. Pat Mahomes has not been as good as he was.
Kyler Murray could have been, and then he got hurt.
Aaron Rodgers isn't going to win with all the drama surrounding him.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and Lamar was out. I mean, Lamar's definitely capable of it too. He's up there, I would think.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the Colts keep it up, if they make the playoffs, and JT keeps doing this, then for sure, yeah.
I would agree. I would agree because, again, it's like all of the traditional MVP candidates, something's going on with them. So the field is very open this year, and JT has taken advantage of it.
Yeah. Luke, Loki is the best new Marvel show on Disney Plus.
Oh, this is a hard one. This is a hard one for me because it probably has the most repercussions when it comes to the Marvel universe, kind of introducing now multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah.
But man, I've got to say fiction because I loved WandaVision. I really liked what they did with that. That one was executed very, very well.
Yep.
And it is like so close for me. So close. But I have to give credit to WandaVision because Elizabeth Olsen was fabulous. She carried that series, and we got to see her acting chops, and she was fabulous. And then just kind of how they unraveled that story, and by the fourth episode, it's all like, oh, no, this is what they're doing. So I really, really liked it. I really liked it.
Kyle, will you stand for this heresy, or will you agree?
Loki is the best new Marvel show. For sure. Like WandaVision was super good, and I thought that, and after that series, I was like, wow, that's like, it's gonna be one of the best shows, you're gonna see. I just think the show didn't hype it up, but fans really hyped up all these little things in it that you thought something else was coming and coming and coming, and nothing really did. So in that way, I kind of got disappointed by my own expectations. Still, like, really amazing, but Loki just like hit the nail on the head for me because not only did they deal with expectations, it was just like Tom Hiddleston's one of the best actors there is.
Tom Hiddleston's
awesome. And then obviously the last episode with the reveal of he who shall not be named or whatever it is.
That's Voldemort.
Voldemort. Kang. I don't think that was the right description.
No,
but
he who remains.
He who remains.
There you go.
He who remains. Yeah. So that was really awesome too. Obviously, Owen Wilson, hilarious, and they can keep. Yeah, wow. Even though I don't think he even said wow in the show.
No, he did.
Which is robbery.
And it's also robbery. We didn't get him on a help me out, on a jet ski. He talked about that, and everyone's like, on jet ski. Yeah, I think it is, but I would say look out for Moon Knight. I think She-Hulk, from the little clips and glances that we got, I think that looks really cool too. I don't think Hawkeye will top it, but I think Hawkeye will be cool. The weirder the better for shows, I think.
Yeah.
That
seems to be their like melting point.
Yeah, because like weirdness you can kind of expand upon in a show. weirdness in a movie, you don't have much time to do that. So, yeah.
Correct. Yes. And for weird stuff, you can build towards something in the course of a TV show, and with a movie, then when it turns into like this Inception kind of thing or Tenet kind of thing, and your whole audience is like trying to do brain twists, trying to figure out what in the wild world of sports is going on.
Yep. All right, Kyle, I saved the next one for you on purpose. I'm the Spider-Man freak, but I will not talk about it. But I know you and I have had a lot of conversations about this through the Garfield trilogy and now through the Holland trilogy. Will the Sinister Six be in No Way Home?
Yes. So we have Lizard, Sandman, Electro, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus. I think Mysterio's definitely gone. I don't think he's coming back. I would say maybe a different villain that we haven't seen yet.
Venom.
Rhino!
It could be Venom. I think it could be another villain we haven't seen on screen yet.
Yeah.
People are putting Kingpin out there. I think that would be kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like he can't really do much with all those five guys.
I have a theory.
Yeah, I think they will be. I just think the sixth guy is going to be like you've seen all five, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't just put five villains in a movie. There's going to be six. Why haven't they shown the six? Because it's going to probably blow our freaking minds. So like, it's going to be someone we haven't thought of, I think.
Brad's itching to answer and give his little theory, so I'm going to let him answer that.
A quick answer. It probably will be Hobgoblin. We all know Ned Leeds in the comics becomes Hobgoblin. If you look at the trailer where sorry if this is spoilers to anybody before I say this. If you look at the trailer where MJ is falling, the person next to her that looks like they're about to also fall is Ned. I feel like Spidey is going to be so like laser focused on saving MJ that Ned falls, maybe gets captured by Goblin. And it is the Goblin insanity formula that did turn Ned Leeds into the Hobgoblin. So it's entirely possible they make the sixth villain in the film, but they would have to do a different arc just to make that happen. So I don't know if it's possible, but if you're going to talk about somebody we've already seen, it seems likely.
Talking about ripping fans' hearts out because people love Ned.
To be the last stake in the heart to Spider-Man having to get rid of everybody. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Luke, fact or fiction, Sinister Six will be in No Way Home.
I'm going to go with fact. I think that we've already looked and we've seen 5. I feel like it'd be highway robbery if they didn't do 6. I mean, you only have to add one more at that point. You might as well make the fans happy. Yeah. I have no clue how they're going to do it, but I'm just so excited for the movie.
I agree. Luke, I saved these for all of you on purpose. The Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, that were supposed to be a super team, is what everyone crowned them as this offseason, are a dumpster fire. Yes or no? True.
Oh, of course they are. There's no question. And it's like this, because you look across the whole of the Lakers, and all I see is, these just look like all people that LeBron are friends with who may or may not be good at basketball. And I'm going, okay, Bron, I understand you won in 2020. Congratulations. Are you done? I mean, you can hang out with your friends whenever if you're going to do that. If you're going to do that, just retire at the top. You don't have to try to bring all of your friends onto a team and have that team be bad. Just stage a party or whatever, but don't. Yeah. So no, this if LeBron actually expected this to work, it's not working, and there needs to be some major changes, and they need to get some youth and some young talent on that team because they're all old guys. Anthony Davis is probably the youngest dude on the team. Yeah, which is sad. So anyway, there's mine.
Kyle, fact or fiction? Lakers are hot garbage.
Faction.
How do you answer?
Facts. Yeah, they have been for a little bit. They have been, and as soon as they were like, "Yeah, let's sign Carmelo Anthony and get all these other guys," I'm like, "Oh, nice, there it is." Okay, they've officially become garbage. Gotcha.
Yep. Kyle. Kyle's next. Post Thanksgiving meal naps are bomb AF. Fact or fiction?
Fact. If you get the next day off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm.
And if you have your girl with you napping, then it's it's nicer.
Agreed.
Especially if there's football on. I wouldn't nap for like 4 hours, but the kind of like that nap where you're watching football and you're just like fading out a little bit, that's where it's at. Because you're just like, you have no care in the world. You just resting your eyes, watching football, have a half-eaten pumpkin roll to your right. You know what I mean? So like, that's where it's at.
Yeah. Yep. Same question, Luke. Fact or fiction?
Well, I will have the day off the following day, so I fully intend to take advantage of the Thanksgiving nap. I may or may not watch football because again, there are a bunch of games there that I'm just like, do I really want to watch the Cowboys and/or the Lions? But I might turn some of the games on and enjoy it. And if I don't do that, then what I will do is I will turn on highlights from previous Ohio State Michigan games, and I will delightfully look forward to the spanking that the Buckeyes will put on the Wolverines in Ann Arbor 48 hours from thence.
Fair enough. Luke, mac and cheese is a better side than broccoli and cheese casserole.
For Thanksgiving, fiction. Fiction. You, Kyle, you have not had. I don't think either of you. Brett, have you tasted my mom's?
No, and I'm gonna bring back something from last year. You promised me some, and you never brought me.
I would. I need to. I
know.
to. I'll
Listen,
have Mom
fine.
make it for Christmas time because we do make it for Christmas time.
Fair.
I will bring you some for Christmas.
All right,
but
fair enough.
But Kyle, you haven't had the pleasure of eating my mom's broccoli and cheese casserole, and it is amazing. So yeah, no, I've got to say fiction on that.
Fair enough. Kyle?
Yeah, I would say that the best mac and cheese in the world will always be better than the best broccoli and cheese casserole in the world.
Ouch.
Okay. But for Thanksgiving, it is. Like mac and cheese will always the best mac and cheese is better than the best broccoli and cheese casserole. But as it stands, if I have mac and cheese on my table and broccoli cheese casserole on my table at a Thanksgiving meal, broccoli and cheese casserole wins.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, everybody. That has been a whole edition of Jocksgiving. Thank you once again for tuning in, listening to us, having a good time. We will see you later. Thanks for hanging.
Happy Turkey Day.